stay tuned because you know Reese is going to have one of your favorite stars for him today.
Stay tuned.
That's right, man. Your boy Reece locked in live with your Reec Radio. Shout out to CMPA 107.5. Listen, this will also go on our FM shows called The Game. You can check us out in Michigan, Indiana, and of course Miami, Florida. Why will this show go on The Game? Because once this camera zooms out and you see these beautiful ladies, you will know exactly why. They about to give us some free game on how to get some money, some shmoolah, baby, in that music industry and in the talent industry when I'm talking about film, video, all of that and more. And they are breaking ground. If you read the caption, you know they're breaking ground. This is the future of talent representation. Right here with your boy Reese, we got the beautiful ladies, Gill Talent AC in the building. What's up, ladies?
Hey, hey, Reese.
This time, this is deep. Right, I'm in a Gill Talent sandwich. This is ridiculous. All right, so listen, I have to start by saying I started my journey with these ladies a few years back. I was introduced to them through another acquaintance. And then from them, I was able to get this person and that person, this opportunity and that opportunity. I was actually in my first trailer, cause of them, not trailer home. Talk about the trailer, cause of them, because I was cast in a major feature situation.
What was it? What was it? It was Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people was like, I see you, boy. I was like, yes, sir. Hit the bell for that. Still getting residual checks to this day. I like it. So let me go ahead and just give my thank you and appreciation, gratitude. And I'm not trying to cut anybody out. When I don't turn to you, I'm just limited. I ain't trying to have a creek in my neck. Okay, all right? But first and foremost, I want to say thank you, ladies, for representing me and also for sharing so much knowledge and information to us through y'all's platforms as well. So thank you. Let me hit the hype bell. They're not stingy with the information when it comes down to helping out artists and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So thank you. All right, let's go around this room. The lady who they can never get her name right, Guinea is in the building. Right. Jeannie. Lady with the hat, Guinea.
As long as it's spelled right on the check.
Right.
That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. If you are represented by Gill Talent, named after this wonderful woman right here, Patty Gill, then you're going to get an email from Guinea saying, do your audition. Or you got a check on the way. Go sign this and sign that. So Guinea is like the person that's going to be the correspondence. She's the muscle. You know what I'm saying? She's going to make sure things get done. Things get done the right way. So Guinea, for those who keep badgering and butchering her name, is in the building. And we got Patty. What's up, Patty?
Hey.
How you doing?
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited
I
that
love
you
your
guys
studio.
made it. Thank
So
you so
dope.
much. It was like pulling teeth trying to get them in the studio. But they here now.
He is lying.
And y'all came with extra security. What's up? How you doing? Let's introduce you guys because we've met a couple times. I ran across you guys, but we have really formally sat down and had some conversations. So tell the people who you are. Go ahead, Bedazzle. Bring that hat on for nothing.
I'm Cassandra Bell from the Chicago office.
Okay.
How you doing?
I'm good.
She's really our talent scout.
Okay.
So she's always bringing us
Always.
awesome talent. Awesome talent. Even her pastor. She signed her pastor and he built the Disney commercial.
Hold on.
Yes, she did.
Let the Lord and let me get you a check in the meantime.
Won't he do it?
Did that cover your offerings for the year?
You know,
You got a tie.
still got it
I don't
done.
know if I'm gonna sign my pastor. You still gonna make me tired. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. This lady, who are
And
you?
I am April Maria.
Okay, April Maria.
I hold down the Chicago office.
Oh, damn.
And the
Really
New York
New York,
office.
too.
New York and
So
Chicago.
the East Coast representation, the Midwest,
Nice.
and you are not on my roster.
I need to be. I don't know what's going on. I know
You want some
somebody.
New York auditions and you want to be on Chicago Fire and Chicago PD, you need to get on the Chicago roster.
There's a whole lot of firemen out there that's bald headed, so I can get that. Make something
We
happen.
need to do that before I leave today.
Facts. All right, there we go. Let me hit the high button. Getting signed up for
Widen your net.
Right. There we
That's
go.
right.
I got frequent flybys too. I can get there. Here we go. All right, so today you guys are here because I would love for you to share the wealth of information that you have with our audience, our listeners, because we have a lot of talented people, especially right here in Atlanta, but we also have people in Charlotte listening right now. The Midwest, Indiana, and Michigan are definitely tapped in. Of course, Miami, Florida, Texas, and LA. So LA people will catch it late because it's early as heck out there for them. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. So we wanted to share some of this information that you guys have to offer. Patty, how the heck did you get into talent and representing talent? How did this come about?
Well, it started in Chicago, and so I am an entrepreneur, and I do have a background in marketing.
Yeah.
So, and really that's what a talent agent does a little bit,
Yeah.
you would say, is marketing, right? So I started off there. I had a partner at the time, briefly, and then from there I came to Atlanta where Roger Bob offered me to sublease his office. So I couldn't turn that down.
Nah, you can't turn that Roger Bob. Who does that?
Right.
For those who don't know who Roger Bob is, just Google him. It'll pop up.
Yeah, he's pretty much running Tyler Perry Studios
Right.
for him, right? In the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah.
In the very beginning. And so then that was 5 years ago. But 5 years ago is different than what it is now. We just talked about that, right? Atlanta looks completely different. So coming in was like a perfect time. Yeah.
Because Atlanta since then has become almost like a mini Hollywood.
It's really a mini Hollywood. They tried to say it back then, but now it really is. It's all the big studios have built studios here.
Right.
They're using studios here, right?
Right.
Or leasing Tyler Perry's.
Right.
But so that started, but I had to, because I'm solo, so I had Amber, who was actually on our podcast yesterday. She was helping me run it, but it was really hard. It was challenging trying to do it by myself. And I had a few clients that kept saying I needed to be introduced to Genya.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, it's something about you crazy.
Yeah,
and she crazy. Right? I don't know, I think y'all would click. And we did. We literally clicked, and we produced my first film, Black Korea.
Right. I have the shirt. I wore the shirt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So we produced that, and then I could tell the way she worked because I witnessed it on set. She was a producer, so I was like, you work like an agent though.
What
You're kind of crazy.
What did you see for that? What does that mean?
Well, you do have to be tolerable. You have to have a very high tolerance level. Meaning
you work with talent.
Because you're working with actors, right? Because y'all special, right? So you have to have that. So she worked with that all the time. That's what she was usually working with. And so it's funny because I told some of the actors, I think I'm going to have Genya. I asked her to partner with me to run this office. And it was like, they didn't even think twice. They said, she's an agent. They said because she worked in casting, but they remembered her from casting, and they said she used to come out and tell them, no, you need to get your blah blah and get them together before she went in there.
I like
They
that.
went in
Look
there.
at getting unlocking the secret sauce. Trying to get them checks. Why was you giving out cheat codes? So that's crazy.
So yeah, so it all worked together. April has 2 children. Her daughter is actually a writer for The Chi.
Oh, okay. I love that show.
Yeah, and she's actually a very accomplished playwright as well. Her son Damon is an actor, but he doesn't really act. He's more of an activist. Both of them are social activists in Chicago, and so she came from that world. His first movie was Roll Bounce. So they grew up. She knew all about
I was a momager.
She's a former actress herself. She's a former actress herself.
I can
Back
see
in the
by
day.
the smile, I can tell. You got the perfectly placed actress beauty on.
Exactly. Yeah. So she knows all about that. And then Cassandra Bell, she has a Cassandra Bell studio, so she comes from that too. She's a writer, director.
Yeah.
She does all that. Wear all the
Everybody's
hats.
multi-talented.
And so is the agency.
Exactly. And
Right.
that's why you guys, I wanted to be featured because you understand. I like that you guys aren't complacent in the fact, okay, we're a talent agency, we represent talent like this.
Right.
Y'all are like fluid. This is how the industry's moving. Guess what? We're going to be ahead of that curve.
Yeah.
Y'all are probably the first agency to have a podcast to start giving out your industry scoop.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Industry
Yeah.
scoop to let people know what was going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think the second day after I was signed, I was on the podcast.
Yeah, get it on
Right, absolutely. So I think that the way you explain it makes plenty of sense. And what made you? It's really a simple answer. But what gave you the confidence to sign people who are just as talented, just as sharp as you?
You talking about agents?
Yeah, to bring them on as partners.
But you know what? I do know that I don't need the attention. And I do understand that I get a lot of credit. Like April does some phenomenal things, and I was like, guess who's getting the credit though? I was like, I'm so smart. I'm so smart. I get it. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. Like you can't only go as far as your team.
For sure.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know, Kevin Hart, when you talk about all the moguls and people that are moguls in the making, they all have serious teams behind them. 50 ain't up there doing that by himself.
You're right.
They get people smarter than them.
100%.
Listen, why you say my pops out in the front right now?
We have one team member is that's not here with us, who's
Yes.
really a phenomenal addition to that makes us just like.
I hate that he's not here.
The
Yeah.
extra threat.
Well, y'all let him.
So Todd
one of
Rashawn,
the fellas in?
he does the coaching and development,
Okay.
and he teaches. Because now we're in the era of self-tape.
Right.
If your self-tape game sucks, you're not going to get
You're not
booked
gonna
for
get-
anything.
right.
So he really coaches our actors on elevating their game, so that they can produce a self-tape that Steven Spielberg or Oprah would be intrigued to watch.
I like
and
that.
so he's an invaluable member. Of
And we
our team.
offer
that.
that free to our
Free.
clients, to our roster. They get the self-tape class.
So listen, I just want to say this because we just mentioned y'all being fluent, being ahead of the game. You bring in somebody to say, okay, this is an issue. Well, actresses not being able to produce these self-tapes in the right way.
Yep.
This is the issue. What do we do to that issue? We bring somebody on staff that can help alleviate that problem. And when I say ahead of the curve, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Shout out to the fellas. They let a fella in the door. All right, finally.
Even with social media, we see how social media is like booming right now. It's actually imperative to even get booked. So
Yeah.
that's our next department.
Yeah.
We have
It
a
is
whole
the social
influencer
media
department,
department.
social media.
Wasn't he on our first list for this?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was getting that check.
I
Yeah.
received several hundreds of dollars. I'm not gonna say the number because I don't know if Uncle Sam listens. But just believe me, the lights was paid. Don't get these gold microphones from nothing.
No, but those are deals now that, look at Country Wayne,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You don't have to look at Hollywood to get a deal,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
You can create your own content and you can stream that sucker yourself. I mean, you're a testament to that yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you don't have to wait for someone to say yes to you. And
Yeah,
we
you
understand
can be the
that.
yes. You
Yeah.
can be the yes. I like that. And even when I first came on, you guys, you told me, hey, if you got some ideas, give them to us. We can sit down, we can hash them through. Whether they work out or not, at least you knew what I
Right.
had going on,
Right.
and what my goals and aspirations are. And I think you have to be like that if you're going to represent somebody.
Yeah.
And especially when you deal with talent, because like you said, we're special, respectfully. We're special, you know what I'm saying? So I definitely get it. What made you be okay with working with people like us? Like,
Who would,
Oh.
I mean, you know what? We were blessed to come in at the time of Empire.
yes.
Right.
Okay, so that's when the agency kind of first was born,
Mm-hmm.
and so the agencies, which are typically white, were scrambling trying to get black actors
Wow.
because they weren't signing them prior to that.
Right.
Right? So
Right.
now today looks different, right? We have
Absolutely.
black directors, black writers, black shows. They see that people are watching them all over the world.
Yeah,
And
it works.
so unfortunately we do know in our community, it's changing a little bit, but in our community and our culture, parents weren't necessarily encouraging their kids to go into the arts.
Right. That's true. Not
Unless you're in New
film
York.
arts.
Certain places I would say
Yeah.
they may have encouraged it.
Yeah.
But the Midwest typically,
Yeah.
and probably Atlanta too, the South, you typically go to school or you go get a blue collar job. You go get a job at the post office.
Or
good
you're
government
doing
Yeah, you go
music.
get you some benefits.
Right. Or they say, they may encourage you have a lot of momagers or parents helping their kids become an artist, hip hop artist or a singer, but they really weren't pushing them toward in front of the camera as an actress or actor.
No, they weren't. And so we know that there's so much talent out there, but they just need some guidance.
Right.
And so all of us.
Legit guidance.
No, legitimate
Because
guidance.
it's a
'Cause
lot of not
rip-offs
legit.
too.
Right.
A lot.
If you
100%.
pay this, we'll represent you. Like, why am I paying you to represent me to make some
And
Right.
that's a huge no-no.
All right, so let's go over some red flags. Y'all been seeing these red
Red
flags
flags.
on social media,
We're gonna
right?
save you today. We're gonna
Right.
save you.
And this is not about fellas and ladies and boyfriends and girlfriends right now.
Right.
We're talking about
Right.
red flags when it comes to representation.
Absolutely.
One I've seen is agents asking people for money to represent them.
I've never experienced that, thank God. But all my kids were actors, so I was familiar with the business. But I do know you should be with a union franchise agency.
How do you find that out?
You can go right to SAG.com.
Okay.
SAGafter.com. So we were SAG initially, but then we changed over to ATA after, which is still a union franchise agency. You
Right.
can only be one or the other.
Yeah.
Okay. To give you an example, William Morris and CAA, those are ATA franchise agencies.
Gotcha.
Okay. But the only difference is really more so for the agent than it is the actor.
Okay.
So the coverage doesn't change with the actor, but it does change with the agent because the agent can operate in other realms other than being an agent. With SAG-AFTRA, you can only be an agent. They want you in that one box of agent.
Yeah.
And we can represent writers, directors, producers.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Right.
And we can be producers, which we are.
You are. You
Yeah.
are.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Right. I was just on one of y'all sets.
Yeah. Right.
We definitely gonna be shooting something for
Yeah.
sure.
All day. All day.
Right. And we got the space for it. Let's do it.
So-
all right. So I get that. So red flag 1, make sure that they're
You and your
registered.
franchise. Mhm.
All right. Red flag 2.
And diverse representation too. That's another
Okay.
website you can go to
Oh,
to
diverse
find,
representation.
you know, different agencies and things like that.
You different when you wear a hat. I just want you to know that.
What?
Yeah, you different. You speak
Oh,
different.
your
and
voice
everything.
changed?
Yeah, it did change. Yeah, credit score went up. I wish. She's like joking and laughing. Like, she's straight to business. Yes, this is the hat Guinea is not playing around. Okay, I get it.
That's
I
hilarious.
understand.
Reese got his comedian hat on.
This is who I am behind the mic. So what is another red flag that you guys might see? Because you're based out of the Midwest, so I know the climate is different out there, but we have people listening out there too.
Extremely different. Well, first, you should never pay any upfront money for anything. That's number one, because
Take this down a little bit.
in the Midwest, it's a lot of commercials and that say, hey, we had these people, and if you pay this much money, then we're going to be able to get you on.
Everything you straight to Disney. That's usually the buzzword, though. It's usually Disney. Yeah.
Hey, parents, you want to get your kids on Disney?
Exactly.
$29.95 a month. I already know.
Yes.
I already know. Right.
And then another thing that people do is make promises. No one can promise you 100% that you're going to work.
Yeah.
True.
So that's
True.
a big red flag. No
That's good.
promises.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah, really our job is to open the doors, right? And make connections for you
Right.
and get you in front of the right people.
Right.
And then once you are in front of them, it's on you to book it and have
Right.
it eaten out the palm of your hand.
You gotta show up.
Yeah.
You gotta show up,
Absolutely.
make that job. She keep hitting us with this extra smile.
Yeah.
Get back in the game.
This is Diana. This
Yeah, that's Diana Ross
This
right
Diana
there.
Ross.
Yeah.
We got a studio
She didn't deny it either.
Diane Carroll.
I like it. I definitely understand. I like it. Y'all trying to sign my little
Yeah, she
family
trying to
out.
get
Yes.
signed. Look at her.
How old is she?
She too.
2.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
She said she was a boss baby.
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
We
right now,
can't
if you're just
guarantee
tuning
Disney,
in.
but we can guarantee she'll have some fun. That's what
Yeah, we like that.
Yes.
We like that. That's all you want for your kid at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
You want people that care about their well-being, people that's going to be ethically right and morally
Yes.
right,
Yes.
and be 100% honest with you. Your
Yeah.
kid may be a star, she may be super talented, but I can't guarantee success.
Correct.
The only
Absolutely.
thing I can guarantee is opportunities. And I
Right.
think
That's
that's
it.
what you guys bring to the table.
We're
Opportunities.
pitchers.
Yeah.
And you know what, I'll
Yeah.
tell you this, because yes, there's talent, but there are other things that create a successful career. And so a lot of times we'll have like touch base Tuesdays with our clients, because
Okay.
we
Talk about
love
that.
our clients. And they sometimes are complaining. Oh, Manifest Monday. We'll talk about that in a second. But in Touch Base Tuesday, sometimes a very talented actor might be saying, I'm not getting booked, I'm not getting booked. And sometime at the root of that is your energy that you
Okay.
bring to your auditions.
Right.
Right? If you're feeling bad about yourself, or if you're frustrated about doing self-tapes. So we have a lot of talents.
It's a numbers game.
And a lot of our
Yeah,
comedians,
too.
they hate self-tapes.
Right.
I get it.
Because they, bam, in their own right, they're very successful, and Wednesday through Saturday night, they're at the Funny Bone.
Right. Getting
And they don't need to audition for that.
They get
Right.
And so the
yeah.
game of the self-tape is, oh, I gotta keep laying it down and laying it down, laying it down, so they resent. Like, oh my God, I gotta do another self-tape, instead of, oh my God,
I got another
I gotta do it. I got
I
another
get the
opportunity.
privilege, I have the opportunity
Right.
to put this on tape, and it might make its way all the way to Spielberg.
Right.
Well,
Or
people,
Tyler or Oprah.
I
You never
don't
know.
think folks realize that even if you do a self-tape, you may not get picked for that instance. It's still on the radar of the casting director. They may like you or something else.
True.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah, when my actors say, should I audition for this April? And I'm like, yes, you want her to remember your name, don't
Right,
you?
Yeah.
absolutely.
Even if you don't book the role of janitor, janitor number 2, you want them to see your talent and feel your energy and remember you for that next role that is perfect for you. Because sometimes I've had actors that don't even have to audition for a role. The casting director will reach out to me and
They
say,
already
we
know
want
it.
to see, Reese for this role. We have a perfect role for him and we remember him.
Yes, that sounds like you got a ring to it. We got a perfect role. Stay tuned. No,
You know what?
I get that. Go ahead.
I just want to add that what happens with self-tapes, there's an anxiety. Because a lot of times, actors feed off the energy
Yeah.
of other people, or they're trying to look for those signs in the CDs, and when you're alone in your home, you're alone in your energy, and there's an anxiety because you don't know which take to actually send. And so there's that confusion. So a lot of actors just resented the self-tapes.
What do you recommend for that if you have a one-shot deal per se with a self-tape? Do you recommend just loading up several takes of of how you approach it, or what do you recommend from an agent standpoint?
You said if you have a,
Well, we will, if you give us 4 or 5 takes, we'll select the 1 or 2 that are the best.
Makes sense.
If you do that many. If
Right.
you do, I mean, like, honestly, if you're constantly auditioning, you shouldn't be doing 4 or 5 takes. We're doing something else is going on.
2 takes, you could do as many takes.
Right.
You look at it and you pick
You
the
select
best.
who you
But if
want.
you need help, we're a ball of resources.
Absolutely.
So we can always help you pick the best too.
I understand. That makes plenty of sense. I know some actors out there listening right now. They're like, "Oh man, that makes sense for me." So we just want to get that information out. That's why I might
And
be
one
asking
thing
some
we'll tell
elementary
you
questions.
is you never need to do 2 exactly the same. So
No.
if
That
you're
doesn't make
submit
sense.
They should be on 2 different ends of the spectrum.
For sure.
Like,
That's the same as
hold
when I
my
do
purse.
voice acting.
And then the other one would be,
Oh
my
my
purse.
purse.
I hear what you're saying.
That's
Right.
the same as voice acting, because I do a lot of voice acting auditions, and it's about stamina and consistency. So I literally probably do 35 to 50 a week, and out of those 35 to 50 a week, I probably book 2.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that number.
That's
because
nice.
I've been and then I get referred from those same people. that say,
Absolutely.
For sure.
I literally read for a video game, right? And the video game was like a spoof on The Godfather, right?
Wow.
The spoof on The Godfather. So they gave me a take and they said, "Hey, do this take," and it's like, on the day of my daughter's wedding. So I
love
did it.
it.
I did not book that, right?
Yeah.
But what happened was he said, "Hey, how many other voices do you have?"
Yeah.
So from there, he booked me for another gig.
I
So
love
it
it.
worked out.
That's
You know what I
exactly
mean?
how it
So
works.
Exactly how
You're
it works.
planting seeds. Every audition, you're planting a seed.
Absolutely.
You really are. And the harvest shall come.
Right.
Yeah.
If you're
Correct.
talented and you have tenacity and stick with it, the harvest cannot be denied.
Period.
Listen to Diana Ross.
Preaching.
This is a t-shirts coming soon. All right, so we're kicking it right now with Gill Talent, the beautiful ladies of Gill Talent, representing New York, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, all over the place, and they are right here with us. Fortunately, right now, and giving us some game. New Orleans, okay?
That was our last open call. We did it in New Orleans.
Okay, that's what's up. New Orleans too. So there's a lot of talent all across the globe. How do you find the talent? Like, what makes you say, I want to work with this person in today's climate? 'Cause I know it's different than before.
Yeah.
What makes you say, okay, we'll sign you to our roster and try to get you booked?
But you got to have a headshot. We'd like for you to have a resume.
Hey, one quick question. That was a shot at me. I'm just telling y'all, that was a shot. She's like, you got all this press kit, EPK, a bunch of radio stuff. She's like, where your headshot? Got them done.
Basics.
All right, talk to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Headshot, resume, reel. That's the basics. So
Basics, yeah.
if you don't have a reel, maybe you haven't put one together yet, or maybe you haven't done enough work yet. So we tell people, go do some short films, some independent, films, and just get some work.
Gotcha.
Because you could be pre-agent. We don't want you to be pre-agent.
We want you to be agent ready.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. And shout out to LS Studios, because y'all introduced me to them, and they actually helped me do my reel and all that stuff.
Yes. Absolutely.
But Cassandra has a phenomenal eye for talent, so share some of the things that.
Oh, you just finding people out in the street? You're like, oh yeah, get
No,
that.
literally, listen, don't even
Right.
ask me the unorthodox method that I use to find some of the great talent on the Gill roster.
Okay.
Because it's just, I think it's just a gift. It's like I can just kind of look at somebody and say, hey, just like I looked at my pastor. Shouts out to Alan County. And I was sitting there watching the service and I'm like, he can act. He can act.
Wait a minute now.
Wait, was he on the pulpit acting?
No, he was, no.
But you can tell the way he moved.
The way he moves,
Mannerism.
he's a young pastor. He's very handsome. He has this
charismatic
like
Yeah.
he's a likable figure.
Yeah.
And so I just pulled him to the side of the surface. I was like, hey, you may want to think about it. And he was like, I'll give it a try. booked Disney right
He
off
booked
the
it like
bat.
within 30 days.
Yes.
He
Yeah.
booked
Did
his
he book
first
the
audition.
Yes.
Was he a pastor in the book?
No.
No.
He was a dad.
He was a
And
dad.
they flew him all the way to Disney World in
Right.
Florida for
It was-
like a week.
Yeah.
Right. It was an amazing time.
was.
And he's acting now.
Yeah, he
like,
just did a
he's
play.
working now.
Yeah.
Is he
And-
still a preacher?
Yes.
You done took the man from the Lord.
God gives us gifts.
Right.
Yes,
right.
he does.
That's right.
Right. So you-
bestowed.
There's just a certain quality to a person that has that it factor. They have, it's just the energy that's on them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you just have that trained eye to be able to recognize the potential.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see potential in actors that don't see potential in themselves.
Preach.
So-
Now you the pastor. Man, and with Zoom, he can still do his service on Sunday. Shamanana. All right, here we go. All right. So that's some things to look out for as an actor or actress out there. Make sure that you have those things together. Be what you call it, ready. Not pre-agent. Be agent ready.
Right.
I like another
He is
T-shirt
everything.
from the hat lady. All right, cool. So what is something right now that people are moving towards? How do you guys like or dislike when your talent is creating all these social media platforms for themselves and just using them to their, to showcase their talents, to showcase.
We
their-
love it. We encourage it.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, we 100% encourage it. Sometimes we're like, okay, does your Instagram even look like like you're an actor? Now, there's a problem if you're looking like one thing, but your goal is, or you beating us over the head for an audition. But, not to take a hit to nobody, but you got crab legs all over your thing because you trying
you're
to
doing
move some crab
texting.
legs because you're catering.
Right.
Then it's
Yeah.
like you need to do another page to show that you're an actor.
Right.
Right.
You said because you're underestimating those casting directors going on Instagram.
Right.
They do it all the time.
Right.
Absolutely.
I've got cast off Instagram. That's how I know.
Exactly.
Yes.
I definitely get it.
It's
I get
easier to go on Instagram than IMDb.
that. Yeah.
Honestly.
It
So to go there and they kind of get a glimpse of you and your character and then what you're doing, not a whole bunch of selfies, but just to see you working behind the scenes, even not the actual self-tape, but just even preparing for the self-tape, just kind of seeing that, do you look like an actor?
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
And we always tell our talent, Facebook is not your therapist.
Nope.
And Facebook
Stop
is
putting
not
your
your
business
diary.
on there.
Right.
It's not
Yeah,
your
April's
therapist
had
or
to
your diary.
pull a couple actors that had some really bogus.
I called them. It
Yeah,
was like
call
10 o'clock at
them.
night, and I was like, take that down immediately.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Take it
yeah.
down immediately. And thank goodness that they had enough
They were
respect.
receptive.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they were receptive, because they could have been like,
This is my personal.
I-
thing.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I could cuss my
Yeah.
girlfriend out if I
Right.
wanted.
But
that's not a good look.
Right, as a talent, you are your brand. So
Yeah,
whatever
absolutely.
you
Right,
put
you are
out
your
there
brand.
is what people are buying. That's your commercial. You know
Yes.
what I mean? So you don't want a studio to get scared. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? They book you on this $1 million budget or hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't want to know you got an issue with your
Right.
girlfriend.
Exactly.
Right.
It's not-
Exactly. No, seriously,
And
that
Reese-
will impact it.
Protect your brand at all costs.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes, I got a bulletproof vest on mine.
At all costs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. So yeah, that makes plenty of sense to me. How are you guys able to utilize social media to grow and to expand?
Well, like she said, we just started our social media department, so right now we're recruiting to fill that influencer. You have to have 100,000 or more. So we're just going down
That's
our.
discriminatory. I'm verified.
Or if you're verified,
Right.
we have over
very
10
high interaction.
and engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're
there's
going-
exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, so we're going through all of those things before
Right.
we actually make that post, because we're going to be posting about,
Right.
trying to fill that up, because that's a real thing.
It
And we indirectly do it. We haven't made it official yet, but we really kind of do training from being an influencer to an actor.
Yeah, I've seen that firsthand with people.
Yeah, and with us, right? You were just
Right.
on set with someone,
Right.
right? We did Jessica. She has a web series. Of course, she started off as an influencer, but now she's an actress. Now
Right.
she does auditions, but she understands it now.
Yeah.
It took her a minute for it to click.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
It's a huge
It's a
difference.
business. It's a business.
Right.
It is a business.
Yeah, the craft is to be respected.
Now, how do you guys? I guess because you're trained. This is one way to answer that question. But how do you guys see the difference between somebody that's in social media, like popular, and actually talented? Because it is.
Oh, that's
That's
a
a big
great
difference.
Well,
question.
you have to audition at the end of the day.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, we have
anybody.
open calls.
That's the guinea I know. No, let me take this hat off. a bully.
So ignorant.
I'm not a bully.
But we were just having a discussion about comedians born on social media versus
Yes.
old school kings of
Comedian.
comedy. You know, I started in a little smoky joint
Right.
with
They
8
feel like they pay
audience members.
different amount of dudes, different kind of
Absolutely.
Right.
Or even just getting the energy back from a live audience, or you having, followers on
Right.
Instagram and putting up videos and thinking,
Absolutely.
I'm Bernie Mac now. I'm
That-
Bernie Mac.
Right. There's a discipline to acting.
It is.
And so, I can wake up and cut my camera on and be silly and funny, but to actually get ready and prepare for a scene, I have to put some work into that.
Definitely.
Or be 12, 14 hours on set.
Okay?
Yeah.
And retention.
And may have to go right back.
Boy, 8 seconds feature.
Yes.
Hurry and wait. Hurry and wait.
That Empire situation, Star situation, I got on set at 6:20 in the morning. I was early. I ain't about to be late. 6:20 in the morning, I left at I don't know what time I was supposed to leave because of SAG, laws or rules, but whatever time, just at that very moment was you gotta go, bro. You cut loose. It was probably like a 14-hour day. It was
Right.
a long day, and I was on screen for about 37 seconds. The check was great, but I was
Big Mama don't blink. Big Mama don't blink. That's here I come. That's my elbow.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
Hey, look, them are knuckles.
That is the business.
That's
Right.
the business.
It is.
The discipline makes sense. You have to be, willing.
But some people aren't even wired for that. Some
Right.
people aren't even wired for it. And I don't know if Ricky Smiley, did I just listen to him? I was on radio, he was talking about people were trying to give him offers, but he was like, I just can't sit on those trays. Like, he understood. He's
Yeah,
like,
he knows what
he's
it
like,
is.
right now, I just don't have the patience for that. I just
Right.
said, that ain't my call.
That ain't my
He's done
calling.
that. Well, now this is one thing. He's done so much already.
Right.
You
Yeah.
can make that call. Some people you can't walk into that with that sense of entitlement. Like,
No.
I don't do that. Like,
No one really can't, but yeah.
But you do. People do. And that's
People
what you
do.
said.
That's the problem.
Yes.
Talent can be special at times.
Now,
Because
absolutely.
they don't. We
The new
sometimes
jazz.
take for granted the opportunity.
Yeah.
For instance, like we may have a certain amount of clout or engagement on Instagram
Yeah.
or social media, and you like that should carry over to this, but no, this is a different set of ball game.
Right.
Well, this is the unfortunate thing of being a black-owned agency and a black-ran agency, right? Because typically, and we're inclusive though.
Yeah.
We represent
I know
everyone.
I sent y'all a couple of Caucasian.
You know right? So we represent everyone, but unfortunately, because this is even new to a lot of actors in our community, so actors of color, they hold us to this higher standard, but their resume isn't full. Okay, but they hold us to this standard as if,
so much.
but they will listen and say yes to the other agencies and take them, and they take their rejection, and they just, they don't understand. We're like aunties, okay? Yeah, we have one client that calls us, the Hitsville? They're like, y'all the new Hitsville, because we're so hands-on, because we really care.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is tough.
Yeah.
And we've had, some actors had to part because maybe we were too tough.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be conscious of that. That's why we made mental health such a priority.
Let's talk about that. Let's
Okay.
get into that right now, because we named the gamut of things.
Yes.
You gotta be together, you gotta be agent ready, you gotta watch out for these red flags. You get on set and you might have to sit in the trailer for 15 hours and then
Yes.
your part might get cut out, you still gonna get paid.
Yes.
But your part might get cut out, you gotta deal with these different personalities. That's all things that can weigh on your mental health, even in your dream job.
Yes.
Mhm. True.
How do you stay sane, ladies? How do y'all stay sane? And then what are some tips you give to your talent?
I personally don't take anything personal.
It's
don't.
tough in this industry, though.
It's you can't. I've gone through enough stuff that I just don't take things personal. For what?
It's just business.
Yeah, it is just business.
Right.
You still want to be empathetic, but I don't take things personal as far as like actors talking about me or calling me a B. And I'm like, it's the business.
Right.
You gotta toughen up.
That's not the name.
Well,
of the
Reese, I
chance.
take it personal.
I know, see,
No other agent gonna love you like I love you. No other agent, midnight, 1 o'clock, be sitting in your sides and
Right.
answering the phone at 11:30 at night and
yeah.
doing manifest Mondays
Yeah.
and affirmations and
And the
Tuesdays.
Mantra.
Hey,
Well,
you ain't gonna get this love
I
nowhere
agree.
I
else.
don't think people understand sometimes when you go beyond and above, they think
Oh,
it's
my God.
normal.
Well, they get
Until
entitled.
They get entitled.
Then they get entitled.
Until they go somewhere else.
Well, we've had some actors come back and say, I didn't know.
Right.
They were humble.
Especially we were their first agent.
Right.
Yeah.
And they think this is the way it is.
They think it's normal.
Nah, you can't just walk in anywhere.
Right.
I get it. So just to make it make sense for any of our musicians out there listening, if you sign an ASCAP, if you're not Teddy Riley, you're not just walking in that office.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
it's not going to happen. But if you sign a CSAC here in Atlanta office, you can walk in and they will say, hey, I got this pitch here. You can submit this song here. And I know firsthand from that. So I get what you're saying. It's a difference. But that entitlement will mess you up.
Every time.
So how do you stay sane, mama? Because you look like you take it so personal. What you
She's so passionate.
I see that.
I am very passionate about what I do. I really, it's interesting because I've recreated my career many times, but I feel like this is what I was born to do. And so I love it in a different way. But how do I take care of myself? I work out like 6 days a week. So I have a grandson, and I want to be at his wedding, dropping it like it's hot.
No.
My grandson's wedding, dropping it. So I don't want to just grow old, but I want to grow old with vibrancy, energy, and I want to be like he had to chase behind me at Disney World on the rides. So I, they say that you can either use food as your medicine, or so I try to eat to live well and live abundantly, and with energy. I work out, or I was working out until I got to Atlanta 6 days a week. I got to find my gym here, my trainer here.
It's on the way.
But your body is your temple. Your body is your temple. And so as I take care of my body and I work out, I recently lost about 65 pounds.
Yeah. Amazing.
Not amazing. But I lost 65.
I found them, April. They came over to my house.
That's between me and you. I found 5 of them myself.
In doing that, it gave me a clear-headedness. It gave me an energy that I needed, that I didn't know that had been zapped from me.
Yeah, that's true.
Because some people, we use food as our medication.
It will cloud it up,
food
though.
as your lover. You use food as anesthesia when you hurt. But if you kind of get your mind right and you don't use your food as entertainment, and just use it to be healthy, and to live vibrantly, you have a different energy.
For sure.
So you're putting in positive things into your body.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm about to say Jesus.
Yeah, Jesus definitely helped.
Yeah.
But don't pray too hard, and she gonna book you to be.
I put that April on and been like, yeah, she's sexy. That's what I love. Can I talk to you for a moment? What you ever think about? But you know what? Another thing that I want to add that we do, we pray for each other.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We would get on calls, and we would just sometimes get our glass of wine, and we'll be on Zoom calls, and we pour into each other as well. And I want to say, because a lot of times people say, "Oh, they're women. I know it's drama. I know this." It is not. This is straight 100% love.
There'll be no chitlin juice at all.
No, not at all.
We're not having the chitlin juice.
Yes.
No.
And Todd be right with us.
Todd is right there. And I think another thing is that we all want each other to win.
Yes.
Right? Because I know.
Commonality. I like
Yes.
that.
Absolutely. And Cassandra, she's talented in so many different ways. I'm not trying to prevent her from writing and directing. She has her film September Rain is on Amazon Prime, on Tubi,
Apple, Google,
all that stuff. But I mean, like, as she grows, she's just blessing us.
Right.
Right. So as we go higher, we all take each other higher.
Right.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
And we
Amen to
bring
that.
people, because if I'm out and I bring people, I just did a production, and we brought those people right to us. I'm like, hey, I was still in there talking about, and Gill Talent, we're the best agents. You got an agent? You're doing this movie? Come on over to Gill Talent. And we signed them.
So you like Suge Knight. I like it.
He said, Sugar Night.
Sugar Night.
Come on over to Gill Talent. Shout out your director dancing.
Dancing all your videos.
That is so funny.
Suge Knight over there.
Hilarious.
I like it. I like it that you guys are able to stay sane in this crazy times. Anyway, you did it with COVID. How were you able to maneuver during COVID, during the pandemic?
COVID blessed us.
That's when we thrived.
Yeah,
Yes.
we pivot in the pandemic, and we thrived because we actually got closer personally.
Okay.
Because we don't live in the same state,
Right.
And so we didn't. I mean, they're here now, but we didn't live in the same state, and we had to Zoom. Zoom is common now, right?
Yeah, right.
But that wasn't really common prior to the pandemic. That was
Skype couldn't even handle it. Right. Skype was like, wait, what?
Exactly.
Right, you having a corporate call, somebody done snuck in twerk. But I know what you're saying.
Yes. So Zoom changed everything, and we were Zooming every day.
That's
Yes.
That
What were
changed.
y'all doing? Y'all were game planning? What were you doing?
We were playing. No, we were playing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that too.
There was no
Right,
there were no
right, right.
breakdowns or anything. So for a minute, we were just honestly socially just being chill.
Okay.
Like I would be cooking, we'd be drinking. Like, what y'all doing?
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking about what's on it, and then we start.
We started to plan.
We started the plan, and I think April ignited the Health is Your Wealth.
Okay.
Her and Ginya,
Yes,
they
Health is Your Wealth.
started that initiative.
Yeah.
And
We did yoga.
You cooking all the time.
The book, Love.
Yeah.
I was cooking.
You was cooking all
I was
the time.
cooking.
Yeah.
Yes.
All
She's
the
trying to get me
time.
to do a food vlog.
Yeah, because I saw the
Food is
Thanksgiving
our love
spread, and I was like,
language.
hold on, how many
Wait till you
times
see
did
this
have?
year. Wait till you see this
No,
year.
I'm
I'm so
gonna be
excited.
I speak like 3 Korean words. Both sides.
I'm on both sides.
Both sides.
Both sides.
No, but during COVID, that's when we had our initiative for the health and wellness.
Right.
So we took the clients, we invited clients to do
Pizza
yoga.
Hut, we were doing
Yeah,
yoga. In
so
Chicago, we did spinning outside.
spinning.
Okay.
We
That
did
was
the
so
Manifest Mondays virtually. We had the social
We had a
media
cooking class
workshop.
with the
Yes, with
Teaching us- yeah, but she had a chef
yes,
come on,
yes,
and we
yes.
were doing a cooking
We did a
class.
lot of things.
Right.
We got super.
We did
yeah.
virtual open calls. We were
Yeah.
having virtual calls every.
Yeah, but it kind of like
Month,
started on how we do things, because that's how we pretty much do most of our open calls now, because we could be more efficient.
Right.
Right.
That's how it started.
Yeah, that's how it
we did the
started.
Juneteenth.
We did
Yeah.
Juneteenth.
We did a
Right?
Juneteenth celebration.
I got the Actors Access note, and I was like, "What y'all doing? A party?"
It was amazing.
It was amazing. It was
Casting directors tuned in.
They
We
should.
did the Christmas celebration with our kids, and one of our kids got booked from that Christmas celebration
Yes.
on BMF. Yeah.
Layla.
Everybody works.
And what about
Yeah.
Comedy Squares?
Comedy Squares.
Shout out to Comedy Square. I was on Comedy Square.
Yes, you won $100. You always getting the money. Reese is gonna get that money.
We were still trying to get y'all paid.
Right.
Pandemic.
Even shout out to one of our clients, Josh. He started the virtual bingo.
He did.
So we were doing check-ins and just getting how people are staying creative.
Yeah.
That was a really good time,
But
actually.
it
It
But-
elevated us.
But it
Yeah.
took some agencies out. as you
It
know.
did. It did.
So we're very blessed to not only be sustaining ourselves, but we actually
Flourishing.
flourish. Yeah,
we're
we're
like you said, we're
thriving.
able to pivot and do some amazing things in there. And that's just
Absolutely.
all the entrepreneurs, people, business people. I hate that word. Business people out there looking and
I do
trying to
too.
do things. Just man,
I know, because everybody entrepreneur.
Right. Just keep going, and it's all about that stamina.
Yeah.
Keep being consistent, keep doing, keep living in your passion, and keep making those things happen. So I appreciate
Yes.
y'all sharing that. Some people need to hear that today.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man. Ladies, I cannot. We on that clock. I cannot hold y'all any longer, but I do want people to be able to know how to find you guys. If there's some talent out there, some screenwriters, script writers, all of that, because you guys represent the gamut. How can they get in touch with y'all?
Well, go to gilltalent.com. There's a submit tab there. It'll tell you to send your materials to gtgvirtual@gmail.com. But you can go to gilltalent.com and then also follow us on Gill Talent, because we always post everything, and
Right.
follow our podcast, Industry Scoop,
Yeah, industry school.
on Instagram and Facebook, right?
Yep.
Okay,
So-
perfect. So make sure you guys follow them online. Is two different websites for Chicago and Atlanta, or
No, everything is in Gill Talent.
This one.
Gill Talent.
Yeah, that's the one thing. You're pretty much getting coverage from all over once you sign with us. That's an option that you have.
I'm just asking because I need them to know that. I just need
Yes,
them to know that. 'cause
absolutely.
most
Yep,
people
it's
that's-
one website. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I appreciate you guys coming through. Hold on, we do have some people on the chat that have chimed in. AB said he on deck to do headshots if y'all need them. My boy Potty checking in. What's up, Chicago? Checking in. I see you.
Hey,
They're
Chicago,
tuning in on
shout out.
Facebook right now. So this is definitely be part of the game interview. Shout out my brother Potty Ali. Ladies, I appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you for
So
having
fun.
me.
So fun, Reese.
So proud of you.
You need to do stand-up, Reese.
I'm waiting on it. I actually just, and like you said, you got to put together a team. I just got 3 other guys that do comedy, and
Okay.
all like independent doing stuff here and there. We gonna get together once a week and just start creating
nice.
stuff and get together. Cause I see all the big comedians do it. Chris Rock, down to Adam Sandler, all those guys have their people.
Yeah,
That's why you see the same
absolutely.
people in every
Yeah.
movie.
You do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Adam and Chris,
Right.
they in every movie together.
Right. So it makes sense. And
Yeah.
moves forward.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
I will. Y'all give me a book. Let's go.
All right.
All right, y'all.
wait.
Right, exactly. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? Before we get up out of here, let's give it a little Reese's piece of mind. To do something you've never done, you have to do something you've never done. You get what I'm saying? So that just means keep being consistent. If you want to make straight A's and you haven't ever done that, maybe you haven't studied for 2 hours. If you want to get on that TV show and you never did an audition, maybe you need to start hitting those auditions, okay? So to get something you never had, you must do something you have never done. That is our Reese's Piece of Mind for the day. Y'all stay tuned. We got my boy, DJ Decepticon on deck, about to hit us with this mix right here at 12:52 to be exact. So y'all get ready for that and more, and stay tuned. This is Reec Show Live.
Yay!